Ria is uh, soon to be Dr. Ria, and she has done her after her schooling. She did BSc from Patna University, followed by Masters from JNU, and right now she is at the Indian Institute of Sciences, where she is writing her thesis. So, with that, I would request Ria to start her session.
Thank you, Piyush, for introducing me, and very warm good morning to all of you. And thank you, Sanjeev sir, for organizing this and for the platform as well. So now I'll start sharing my screen. Just give me a minute. Today we would like to discuss PhD at higher research institutes in India. So basically, I'll be talking about India because I have more exposure in Indian institutes. That's why. So, how to do a better PhD? So, most important thing is that there is no ideal PhD. An ideal PhD is a myth. Every PhD comes along with their problems, and you cannot escape the problems during your PhD. It will definitely come with a lot of stress. So, but still, we have to find a way so that it becomes easier for others. So, I'll share some of my experience during my PhD as well. So, before I get into the presentation, I'll first of all briefly introduce myself. So, I had done my bachelor's from Patna Science College. I was there from 2010 to 13, and there I in 2012 to 13 I was in Sanjeev sir's coaching. I was studying in his coaching, and that year I appeared in my final year. I appeared in almost uh, all the entrance exams in JNU, SEEB, BHU, Hyderabad Central University, IIT JAM, and I think I qualified every exam that year. And I had very good ranking in SEEB as well. I was on the newspaper for acquiring fourth rank all over India. So I would like to take this as an opportunity to thank Sanjeev sir for this, because it is also his credit that he was such a nice teacher that he helped us for uh, for the foundation of success in our career. That year, I also qualified for integrated PhD program. I didn't qualify for the program. I qualified only the written exam that year. But I was very much scared of ISC at that point of time. I was very immature, and I ducked that interview just because it was ISC, and I was too scared of research at that point of time. So because of course if it is Indian Institute of Science, I'll have to get into the research, hardcore research actually at my master's only. So basically I wasn't very sure whether I want to pursue my career in research at that point of time or not. So that was my decision. Later, then I joined MSc in JNU in biotechnology department. There, I was really happy with the coursework. It was all challenging, and things were fine. Then there during my masters, it was my deciding point for me whether I want to pursue my career in research or not. Because during your masters, you get an opportunity to work in the lab. So when I was working in the lab, I was working on hypoxia related cancer response, and I really found that I'm passionate about research. So masters gave me an opportunity to expose myself to research, and I also at point of masters I was reading few research articles which really I was able to admire. So then I decided that yes, I would like to do research in my career. And then of course you have to write all the entrance exams in India for joining PhD programs, and you have to go for at few places you have written entrance exams followed by interviews such as in IIT Delhi, and most of the places you only have interviews. direct interviews, and there'll be 2 rounds of interviews at most of the places. And then of course you need to have good ranking in CSIR and GATE, because if you don't have good ranking in CSR or GATE, then or it can be DBT, JRF, and there are many other ICMR. If you don't have good ranking, then they might not call you for the interview. So you should try to acquire good ranks. So yeah, this happens. And uh, after after applying to all the institutes in India, I think I qualified in a few of them, and I also was disqualified in I think 2 of them. So yeah, but after that I joined Department of Microbiology and Cell Biology in ISC. Here I joined in 2015, and right now I'm working with my thesis. I have to submit my thesis, and uh, I think it will take around 6 more months to finally finish my uh, defense and then get my doctorate. So I'm yet to get the doctorate degree. So during my PhD, I had immense and enormous amount of exposure to national and international research. I also got opportunity at ISC to meet Nobel laureates, listen to their lecture. I was I also very much admire that in my department we have a lot of journal clubs, we have a lot of work presentations, and very good facilities. So these facilities, the whole entire PhD program at ISC has helped me to groom myself. It has helped me to develop, and it has helped me overall in my overall development, my personality development, or be it my research um, research approach or way of thinking. Everything has changed after I joined ISC. So that's why I think that it is very much important to choose a PhD program which is suitable for you. And of course, being a woman, we all face problems. Of course, most of us are coming from the state of Bihar, and it's very natural for the parents to tell you that why do you want to study so high? What is the need of studying for PhD? Why do you want to go to uh, outside Bihar? So these things can always happen, and I have faced these problems personally, but I was kind of rebellious at my nature, and I never treat myself as a female candidate. Because there's a lot of people around you to tell you that you are a girl, but at your brain you should remember, yes, you are a girl, no problem. But when you're studying, your books teach you similar way as it will teach you to the a male candidate. So don't worry, don't always keep telling yourself that you're a female, because when you are a undergrad student, you are an undergrad student, and that's it. Don't consider yourself very weak. Be very strong at your brain, and be consistent and passionate and hard work. And I think that's it. These are the things that are driving force for me, at least. And I have faced problems during my education. So there were financial crises as well. But what I did, I thought that why to wait for someone else to help me? Why don't I start teaching? So after completing my intermediate, I started teaching at my home. First, I started with teaching a group of 4 5 students, and then I went to coaching institutes and I started teaching. So during my graduation, also undergrad, when I was in bachelor's in Patna Science College, I was studying in college. I was also going to Sanjeevani for my coaching, and I was also coming back home, and then I was teaching. I was taking classes. So I have done all that lot of crazy things at that point of time, because I was extremely passionate. I think that has really helped me now, and now I think that I don't know how I was able to do all those things. But nevertheless, now I'll go to uh, my presentation. And Of course, we are going to talk about PhD. So the basic framework for the higher education in India is you first do bachelor's, then you do master's, and then you go for PhD. So I'll get two steps back and I'll tell you how you should prepare in the bachelor's, because this is going to be your foundation for your whole life. So during your bachelor's, you should read from the standard books. Now you have to brush up your basics quite a lot. You have to have very good knowledge of all the subjects. You should read all the standard books. It's be it Leninger, Bruce Alberts for cell biology, Gene, QB. So all these books, immunology, everything, whatever subject you are reading, don't rely on the teachers only. Don't rely that what your teachers are teaching in the college. So now Sanjeev sir is also not teaching. So there, I don't know if there are coaching institutes who are giving good notes on teaching right now in Bihar or not. I'm not aware of this. But at this point of time, this is a suggestion from me to all the undergrad students. During your bachelor's, if you really want to do well in scientific career, make your foundation very strong. And I don't think that anyone in the world can stop you if your foundation is good. So this is a basic suggestion. And then of course, when you want to do if you want to go for higher studies, if you want to go for masters, then you can go ahead, do well in all the academics examination, because there's always a requirement of minimal marks when you go for masters. And of course, you should prepare very well for all the entrance exams. And you will, if your basics are good, you will definitely get entrance. You will definitely get enrolled in the best of the masters institutes in India. There won't be any issue. I don't think it will ever come. So then you go to masters, and in masters again you have to have very good knowledge of your subject. You should read books, but together with books, you should also read research articles. Now it's time that you should expose yourself to research as well. So when you expose yourself to research, you will get to know whether you are liking it or not, whether it is your cup of tea or not. So this is the time when you should try to expose yourself to research as well. And in masters, it's not only that you have to read. So suppose if I teach you DNA replication, so you know how DNA replication works, but it's also important to think beyond whatever is given in the book. You have to think that how it works or how it was discovered. So start thinking now. So this is the point of time when you should also force yourself and break all the glasses and start thinking. So it's very important. And thinking, of course, it's very important. And in masters, you will get an opportunity. Generally, you get an opportunity to work for 1 year project in most of the universities. And during this time, you can learn techniques. You can expose yourself to research, and most importantly, you can find out whether you are comfortable with research or not, whether you want to pursue a career in research or not. And it's really different when you were in your masters or in bachelor's to score in the exam. It's much easier to score in the exam because you have to read and you have to go for exams and you can score. But when it comes to research, bench work, then things completely change. And you might be very good at studies, but when you go for doing experiments, your experiments might fail. And then at that point of time you might feel very disappointed. So that disappointment will definitely come along with research, but you uh, have to have a self assessment that whether you can handle these kind of disappointment in future or not, because few people don't really like to get disappointed on daily basis, because research will come with disappointments every day, almost every day. So if you do 10 experiments, I think 2 to 3 of them will be successful and most of them will fail. So of course there will be a lot of disappointment, but don't let your disappointment turn into your discouragement. Always stay motivated. So that's the key for research, what I believe. So during your masters, if you think that you want to pursue your career in PhD, then you can go ahead and you can write all the scholarship exams such as CSR, NET, UGC, DBT, ICMR, GATE. All those you can write. If you want to go abroad, then you can write GRE, IELTS, TOEFL, etc. for your English and for your aptitude test. And of course, in your masters, you have to do very well with your academic exams because you need minimal marks, of course, to get enrollment into PhD. And finally, you have to look all around and you have to apply for PhD interviews. So then, but as I've told you that masters is the point where you should decide whether you like research or not, and always remember that PhD is a long term commitment and it will come with stress, and it will require a lot of passion, hard work, consistency. So always keep reminding yourself during your masters that whether you really want to go for PhD or not. And I think if you are fine, then if you're ready, then you can go ahead. There was a sticker here, it's not coming up, it's fine. But anyways, but if you don't want to go for PhD, then you always have alternate careers in your. Uh, you can have alternate scientific career, and I think Pratibha has already talked about quite a lot on this. So yeah, you can go for lectureship. You can be a scientific officer. If you're good at writing, you can be a technical writer. You can join journals and you can assess the articles, and you can always join private companies, and you can always have your own companies. So but in India, apart from the conventional bachelor's, master's and PhD program, so generally we go from bachelor's to master's, and then we go to PhD. But there are also integrated programs in India. So we have BS plus MS, that is, you do both bachelor's as well as master's, and it is a 5 year program in ICERS, and it's really good program, and very good students are coming out from this program. So you can look into it if you're really interested. You can always go for BTech in biotechnology. It's a 4 year course, and after this 4 year course, you can directly go for PhD. You need not to go for masters. And you also have integrated PhD programs where you do masters and then you have direct enrollment into PhD. So and any point of time, even in if you join integrated PhD, if you just want to take your master's degree and want to quit PhD, you can quit. You always have that option. So these are really good programs, especially integrated programs of IISc, NCBS, and TIFR. They are really, really good and highly competitive as well. So you can look around if you're interested, and of course you can always go for masters in for central universities. You can go to JNU, HCU, Hyderabad Central University. You can also go to MSU Vadodara. It's one of the uh, very good institute, and it's one of the very good institute in among all the central university. You can also go for Delhi University, and for PhD you can join the enormous amount of research institutes in India. uh, I have named few of them here. So, if you ask me personally, in my opinion, I think these 4 institutes which I have labeled here in yellow color, these are my favorite institutes. So, if you want to do PhD, if you want to get enrolled into a PhD program in India, I think IISc, TIFR NCBS and CCMB provide you the best possible environment in India, not because of their ranking, but in overall the PhD program is really very good. They give you very good exposure, national and international. uh, they give you opportunity, very highly competitive environment they provide you. So the overall in research environment, I'm not talking about lab wise, the overall PhD program is really really good in these institutes. And of course there are other very nice institutes in India. You can always look for whichever you like. So before you want to apply for PhD, you should look around that why you want to join that institute. So and which institute not to join. So you should always think of joining an institute where you get where the facilities are really good, where you have very good research facilities. You all the instruments are working in functional condition. They should have good fundings. They should have good internet facility, because you need internet, because you want to read research article, you want to know things what is going on in abroad, you want to, through internet you will get to attend a lot of webinars. Through internet you will, there are a lot of uses of internet. I need not to count on that. So of course you can also look around for conferences and workshops which are going all around the globe. So of course you need good internet in the institute. Don't just join any institute for just for the sake of degree, because PhD is not just a degree, it is much more than that. So of course join you should try to join research institute where people always discuss their work. uh, there should be good work presentation environment. People should be you should get an opportunity to present your own work during your PhD. So when you are presenting your work, not only your boss, not only your supervisor, also other PIs, other faculty in the department will look at you, and they will assess you, they will criticize your work, and you will get very good suggestions from them. So it's better to join a PhD program where you have this trend of work presentation, and where you have trends of journal clubs, so that you discuss the research articles from somewhere else in across the world. And you can try, even the nature and science papers sometimes have potholes in them, and you can criticize those papers in the journal club. You can all sit together, discuss that paper. So all those things you should keep in mind, that you should try to join a institute where you have all these facilities, and where people have where people have already created this kind of environment. So it will help you develop your skills much more, and always it will help you to be much and more intellectual. And guest lectures, of course, you should try to join a place where always there are visitors from India, within India, and people who come from abroad. So for example, as I told you that at ISC I have been able to hear lectures from Nobel laureates, and many FRS have visited and have visited our campus, and there have been many guest lecture. I think it's endless to list all of them. So yes, of course, it's very very important that you get a very good exposure of guest faculties. They can come from any corner of the world. And for girls especially, I would suggest that join a campus which is good and safe for you. Don't join anywhere in any corner of the world where you think that the campus is not safe. So join a safe campus. And sometimes when you're working in the lab during your PhD, you might have to return back from your lab late in the night. So you have to keep all those things also in the mind, that whether you feel that this campus is safe for you or not. And uh, a good PhD program also provides you opportunity to attend national and international conferences. So when you attend national and international conferences, you will go and meet people. You will see how much people all across the world are working in your field, and of course in the field related to other fields, of course. And you will get a very good exposure. So basically a PhD program is going to help you in develop your skills, and it is going to help you in developing your own personality, and it will help you it will help you in deciding again whether you want to be in academia or you don't want to be in academia. So few tips which I'll share with you before you go for PhD interviews, that you in India, if you're applying, then you should apply at least minimum 5 different institutes, and maximum you can go for 10. And so at least 5 institutes you must apply, because at times you will feel that the PhD interviews are quite luck based. Sometimes you might get qualified and might not get qualified. So it completely depends, because there's a panel of human being, there's a panel of scientists who are assessing you during your interview. So it might happen that things can go wrong, and or the kind of question they were asking you didn't know about it, so you might get disqualified. So don't get disheartened with that. It can happen. And if you fail, then don't worry, go again, prepare for another interview. So these are the things for PhD interview. And when you go for PhD interview, you must revise your basics. If you haven't revised your basics, then they might ask you, and then you might feel embarrassed. So of course you should have good time to revise your basics before you go for PhD interviews. So now that you have arrived in PhD, there's no formula, as I've told you, for an ideal PhD. Uh, PhD will definitely come with a lot of stress and loopholes. So, but there are few do's and don'ts in PhD, which I've listed here. So, first thing, the most important thing is to choose your supervisor wisely. It's more important to choose your supervisor wisely than choosing your research topic, because for PhD is around, it will take you for 5 to 7 years to complete your PhD. And if you don't join a supervisor who has bad temperament, or if he's not cooperative, or if there are other issues, like for women, if there are issues of sexual harassment, if you already know that someone is involved in such kind of thing, then don't go for such supervisor. It's very important uh, uh, to join in a lab where you get good environment. So choose your supervisor really wisely. Go and talk to the people around. Try to find out what kind of person your supervisor is. Uh, so yeah, it's very important. And then comes your research topic of your interest. You must have, I think, by masters, you must have figured it out that which kind of field you want to join, whether you want to do wet lab, you want to do dry lab, you want to do bioinformatics, or you want to go for cancer biology, cell biology, you want to do you want to work on neurons. So all that, I think, you will figure it out during your masters. And then you can join the lab of your interest. And if you have an opportunity of rotation in your PhD program, it's the best, because during rotation you will get a chance to work in at least 3 different labs, and then you can find out that which lab suits you the best, which environment is best for you. So all those things you can analyze at that point of time. And during your PhD, you should be very disciplined. Discipline is very important. And discipline doesn't mean that you cannot enjoy your life. It Even you should be disciplined in partying. If you're hanging around with your friends Don't do it in the weekdays when you have work. You should have a weekly discipline, you should have a monthly discipline, and a daily discipline as well. So these things can help you to grow. uh, don't hang around with people who are not motivated. That's a personal suggestion, because if you hang around with such people, they can brainwash you and might uh, turn your brain into something else. So don't hang around. So always remember that a good company is required during your PhD, for keeping yourself motivated. And most important thing is to read literature. Read a lot. At least 3 articles I would suggest you should read. Three from your own research field. At least once in a while you can, maybe it's not possible to read so much, but when you are actively working during your PhD, but maybe you can read 2 articles which are not from your field, which are completely different from your field. At least 2 articles in a month. So that's my suggestion, and reading will help you to grow, of course. And whatever experiments you are doing, of course, you will be doing in the supervision of your PI. But you should always think that you have to design your own experiments. You have to have a good thought process before you execute any experiment. So before you go into any experiment and analyzing your data, you should think a lot which experiment will suit your study the best, which experiment will not suit your study the your study. So all those things you have to think quite a lot, and always keep discussing with your supervisor. You should try to have good relationship with your supervisor, because he or she will be the person who will recommend you always in your life. So, and always have good uh, be in good terms with your colleagues. It's very important. Never shy away from asking from help, and you also try to be very approachable, so that people can come to you and they can ask you for help, and you can also go back to them, and anytime you can ask for help. So it's very important to keep a very good relationship with your colleagues, because you're going to work with them for almost for 5 or more than 5 years. And always try to have good communication skills, so that you know people around you, and you can go to not only your faculty, but you can also go to the faculties, and you can collaborate with them. You can talk to them, you can discuss your work with them. It's not only important to stick to your supervisor all the time. So try to develop good communication skills. And during your PhD, you will definitely give presentations, you will write your thesis, write your research articles. So try to develop the presentation skills, writing skills. So this is the time. 5 years are it's a very long time when you can try to completely transform yourself and learn as much as possible for you. And the few don'ts in PhD I have, which according to me are just complete no. So don't over expect too much from your supervisor. Your supervisor is not a magician. He cannot know everything. So don't rely on your supervisor completely. You should also think that it is your PhD. You have to jump into the ocean, and you have to think about the experiment, which thing, what experiment you should basically start doing now, and what other projects you want to do. Maybe in the beginning your supervisor gave you one project to work on, but later on you might have to decide, and you might have to explore the world much and more, because now you're also comfortable in the system. And so, literature, of course, I've told you to read quite a lot. Of course, you will be reading quite a lot, but don't also get lost while reading, because everything might seem very interesting to you, and then you might get lost what to actually do, and what to follow, and what not to follow. So always remember your beginning point. What was your beginning point, from where you started, what you wanted to do initially, and all those things and try to shape your PhD in the perfect way. Don't really get lost reading literature, because for every topic there are millions and millions of research articles, and you cannot also cover everything. So it's not possible that you read every paper of your own research topic. You might have missed few of them, and it's okay. It's completely fine. So, and also don't be over motivated during your PhD. Don't think that everything will work for you. Things might not work, and what might not, it will definitely not work. Most of your experiment will fail. Things will go into trash, and um, it will be quite disappointing, as I've already told you how experiments don't work, and you feel disappointed. Then in that point of time you might want to quit your PhD as well, but don't do that. Don't be over motivated during PhD. You should have good patience. Basically, this is the gist of the uh, fact what I'm trying to explain. So be patient. Things will work, definitely work, and that will bring a lot of happiness to you. Don't worry about that. And never manipulate any of your data. This is very important. And many uh, I don't want to name any lab here, but from ISA Kolkata, many PIs have been, it has been reported that they are manipulating their data. So they are drawing Western blot with their own hand. So don't do that. Never ever do that. And there are softwares in the with the journals, and they can figure it out that whether you are manipulating your data or not. And never ever do that. Okay, so never ever, if things are not working, don't start generating data of your interest on basis of your choice. Never ever do that. This is illegal. So yeah. And sometimes when things are not working, you might feel that you are stuck. And I don't know why the pictures are not coming. Can you see the pictures? I don't know. Anyways, so sometimes when things don't work during your
No, it's
PhD,
not coming.
it's okay. It's fine. No problem. So, during your PhD, you might feel that it is a mid PhD crisis, as it is said. You might feel that you want to quit now, and many people quit. I think in my batch also, many people have quit PhD from here, and it's very common among PhDs. And the most important thing is that when you feel that you are stuck, your methodology is not working, or your experiments are not working, you should go to your supervisor. You should talk to them. You should try to find some alternates if things are not working. You can always go and seek help from your colleagues. And most important thing is to read. Of course, reading helps. And even while reading, if you think that you are not unable to find or what you should do, and you should sit back and you should think. Thinking is the best thing that what you should do when you feel you're stuck. Thinking doesn't mean that you should sit back and you can cry. Of course you can cry, it's normal when things don't work. But if it doesn't work, then sit back, and after your crying is over, sit back and think that why things are not working. What are the alternates, what I can find out, what are the ways. So if you start thinking, I'm sure you will get something or the other to come out of it. And of course, from stuck, you will start moving on in your PhD. It's a very normal thing, and it happens to everyone. If you're stuck ever, don't feel that it is happening only to you, because it happens to everyone. So don't get disheartened at this point of time. And again, no images are coming. Okay, fine. And most important thing is your mental and physical wellness when you're doing your PhD. It's also important in every aspect of life, not only PhD. But during PhD, of course, most of the PhD students are depressed, and article says that 7 to 10% of them also have suicidal tendency. And last week, we have lost one person at ISC, and I have seen, at least in my past 5 years, I have seen 5 suicide cases in ISC. So yes, this depression is really very high. We do have mental counseling here in ISC and in NCBS also, in JIFR also. Most of the research institute, they do have mental counseling, because you can have a lot of problems going on in your PhD, in your uh, personal life, or it can be a clinical depression as well. But sorry, yeah. So I was saying that you might have such problems, but don't worry. Make good friends, because good company will help you come over every problem. You can go for trips. You can hang out with your friends. You can do trekking, go to the mountains, do whatever you like. If you have any other uh, uh, hobbies such as dancing, singing, painting, whatever you like, try to do all that. Keep yourself involved, so that you don't feel so much depressed, and always eat healthy. You should always try to meditate. Sometimes you don't find time, but yes, you should try always. And you always can go to a mental counseling. You can always go for a mental counseling, because they are the best people who can tell you what to do and what not to do. And with this, I think I will conclude. And there was a thank you slide here which is not coming. Sorry, none of the images were visible during my presentation. So yeah, uh, now I will conclude with this.
Thank you, Ria, for this wonderful talk and very well presented.
Thank you.
You mentioned about so many aspects of PhD life, and
Yeah, you can
uh,
also add to few of them if you're interested. I might
I,
have
I,
missed few.
no, I think you covered almost everything, and
All right.
uh, I felt like revisiting my PhD days while going
All
through all
right.
the points. Yeah.
All
So
right.
yes, as Ria mentioned about preparation for PhD, and then all the things that you should do and you should not do during PhD are important. And one point that she raised was to choose a campus which is good and safe. So that is very important, because PhD is not like a 9 to 5 job. Often you will find experiments going to late night, and or say some culture which needs to be addressed later on in the night. So it's very important that your campus is good and safe, or if you're staying outside, that area is good and it's not an issue traveling at night. And that is why most of the big or important research institutes have their own campus with accommodation near the lab inside the campus. That is important. And then of course choosing supervisor is very important. Apart from supervisor, some institutes, like even at my institute there was also a doctoral committee, so which would be formed of 3 to 4 or 5 more faculty from the institute, and they would monitor your progress. So apart from your supervisor, you will have 4 5, sorry, yes. So you will have 4 to 5 extra people to guide you and direct you, and also they will be helpful in giving you recommendation letters when you are applying later on. So I think we have uh, already overshot the time. Uh, and there was one question wherein the person asked how much age gap is allowed when a female candidate takes a break in her career. So if you look at the schemes for women scientists scheme, actually they do not specify a maximum break. They do have a minimum break, that there should be a minimum of 2 years of break, and there is a minimum age of 27 in that case, and the person can apply even till the age of 57 for such grants. So yes, some with the change in time, things are being made conducive for women to work, and it's important that women have equal participation for the betterment of the society. So with that, I'll request Sanjeev sir to give the concluding address and then we can wind up.
थैंक्स स्टीव। सबसे पहले मैं थैंक्स दोनों स्पीकर्स को कर रहा हूँ, डॉक्टर प्रतिभा, और सबसे बड़ा धन्यवाद मैं करूँगा ये डॉक्टर कह के रिया को, क्योंकि अब ये भी डॉक्टर मतलब विदिन 6 मंथ होने जा रही हैं। तो आई थिंक डॉक्टर रिया इज गुड फॉर योर कम्प्लीमेंट। उसके बाद मैं आज जो सेशन रखा उसमें आप सबसे बड़ा चीज ये है कि आज दोनों स्पीकर खुद, ऐसा नहीं है कि ये जैसा कि इन्होंने शेयर किया, बहुत स्पीकर हैव फेस्ड द प्रॉब्लम एंड फेस्ड द स्ट्रगल, दे हैव डन सो मेनी स्ट्रगल इन देयर लाइफ एंड आल्सो शेयर्ड ड्यूरिंग देयर टॉक। तो ये स्ट्रगल ही एक एग्जाम्पल है, और सबसे बड़ी ब्यूटी हमारे सेशन का यही है कि हम लोग ऐसे लोगों को ही इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे प्रेजेंट करने के लिए दे रहे हैं कि वो सिर्फ ये ना हो कि एक लेक्चर बन के रह जाए, बल्कि उनका सेशन, उनका जो ये प्रेजेंटेशन है वो इंस्पिरेशन बने आगे आने वाले जनरेशन के लिए। तो जैसा कि दोनों ने शेयर किया कि दे हैव फेस सो मेनी प्रॉब्लम, तो आने वाले जनरेशन के विमेन कैंडिडेट्स के लिए इससे बड़ा और क्या एग्जाम्पल हो सकता है कि दोनों बिल्कुल नॉर्मल बैकग्राउंड से बिलोंग कर रही थी और आज दोनों अच्छे पोजीशंस पे हैं और अच्छा एक करियर अपने लाइफ में बनाई है। दूसरी चीज ये कहना चाहेंगे कि एक पार्ट छूटा था जिसमें लोग मेंशन कर रहे थे अभी, जैसा कि हमारे पीएम भी इस चीज को इंट्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं, आत्मनिर्भर भारत की बात कर रहे हैं। दूसरी चीज है हमारे सीएम ऑफ बिहार की बात कर रहा हूँ, स्टार्टअप की ओर, और हमारा अगर बिहार आगे डेवलप करेगा तो सिर्फ न्यू स्टार्टअप से ही डेवलप करेगा, इसलिए हमारे गवर्नमेंट का पूरा फोकस है। जैसा कि अभी बिहार स्टार्टअप ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से हमारी बात हो रही थी तो उन्होंने बोला कि अभी बहुत अच्छा मतलब सीएम का भी फोकस है इन सब चीज़ों पे। और देखिएगा कि बहुत सारे लोग एमबीए करके अब ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग, क्योंकि हमारा जो स्टेट है वो बिल्कुल सपोर्ट करता है एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर को, और एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर को अगर बिल्कुल प्रोफेशनल बनाना है तो उसमें एमबीए और प्लस बायोटेक, अगर ये दोनों लोगों का कॉम्बिनेशन मिलेगा तो आने वाले समय में, जैसा कि हमारे सीएम का एक अपना ड्रीम है कि पूरे कंट्री में हर थाली में कम से कम एक बिहारी व्यंजन हो, फूड हो, तो इसमें जो काम करेंगे हमारे बायोटेक्नोलॉजिस्ट ही काम करेंगे। तो आगे जो भी अगर ये सोच रहे हैं कि हमको बैक टू स्टेट होना पड़ेगा, तो उन लोगों के लिए एक अच्छा एक मैसेज है कि आप सरकार से लोन ले सकते हैं, आपके पास एक बिल्कुल जरिया है काम करने का, और एक अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म है बिहार में करने का। बहुत सारे हमने यहाँ पे तो अभी बहुत सारे एग्जाम्पल सेट हो चुके हैं कि जो लेडी अभी तक कोई डिग्री नहीं ली है और वो लोग छोटे छोटे काम करके, जैसे मशरूम की खेती, ये सब मशरूम लेडी करके पूरे इंडिया में, शायद हमको लगता है कि इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे भी उनको प्राइज मिल चुका है। ये बिहार में अपने नालंदा डिस्ट्रिक्ट की बात कर रहा हूँ। तो ऐसे बहुत सारे एग्जाम्पल्स ये हो सकता है आने वाले समय में कि ये फीमेल लोग इकोनॉमी, जैसे हमारे घर का, गांव का और शहर का या हमारे कंट्री का इकोनॉमी में भी सपोर्ट करेंगे, एज वेल एज अपने करियर के लिए भी और अपने सोसाइटी के लिए, अपने फैमिली के लिए ये सपोर्ट करेंगे। तो मैं इन सब बातों से आने वाले जनरेशन्स को मैं यही मैसेज देना चाहूँगा कि ये हम लोग अपने लाइफ में बहुत एक्सपीरियंस किए, बहुत सारे समस्याएं आती हैं, लेकिन वो सिर्फ समस्याओं को के लिए वेट करना होगा। ये जिस तरह से समस्या आती हैं वो चली भी जाती हैं, लेकिन इसमें सिर्फ टेस्ट होता है हम लोगों का कि हम कितना मेंटल स्ट्रॉन्ग ये टीम के साथ, अपने स्ट्रॉन्ग कमिटमेंट के साथ अपने जगह पे खड़े हैं। आपको बहुत सारे अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलेगा और यू विल बी लास्टली सक्सेसफुल, और वही उसी का एग्जाम्पल ये दोनों आज यहाँ पे प्रेजेंट है। थैंक्स।